I've spent millions of dollars on Facebook over the last decade of running ads for clothing brands, and I wish there was someone on YouTube who would have actually showed me step by step how to build a brand besides telling me to research, interest targeting, or lookalike audience, and hope for the best. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the formula for Facebook ad success. I'll teach to you step by step while sharing screen, and yes, this actually does work no matter if you're just starting out or if you are super advanced. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. When I first started running ads, and even for a few years, honestly, I came up with an image or a video that I thought looked cool, and I threw some copy on it and started to spend some money on it. There is really no strategic way other than my subjective opinion. Now, to my surprise, I never really made much money and then wondered why the heck Facebook ads didn't work. I blamed the platform, and you may be there too. You may be blaming the platform. I'm pretty stubborn. So I continued down that path for a while until I saw some results from people early on who spent most of their time on this one thing that I'm about to teach you next. Okay, so you could stop the video at this point and literally go through this section only, and you will be better at Facebook ads. Now, this whole formula is important, so I'm gonna go through all of it, but the number one thing that you've gotta do and spend most of your time on is research. I know, you've probably heard, do your research, but are you doing enough of it? If you're watching this video, my guess is that your ads could be doing a lot better. Let me share with you the actual research steps that I get into. Now, the first thing you wanna do though is I always like to figure out, okay, where does my brand stand? Okay, you may be new or just starting out. This is gonna be relevant to you regardless. Google search your brand and review the PR that's out there, comments, any other mentions. Write down anything that is a trend or repeated more than once. What do you see there?
Oh, top brand in LA, constantly used in a Christian magazine,
You know,
local artist.
whatever it may be, if you see a trend, more than two things together, write that down. There may be something there. And if you're a new brand, write down everything. What happens when people search for your brand? Is it Instagram at the top? Is it LinkedIn? I promise you it'll make sense. It will come back to it a little bit later. It will be relevant for your brand. The other thing I want to do is review competitors. Not big brands, but people that are very similar in size. And when I say similar, like let's say you got 1,000 followers or 500 followers. I'm looking for people for 5 or 10,000 followers, not the 200, 500,000 million followers. I'm not looking at those. I'm looking for people that within my ecosystem, and I want to see what are they doing. I want you to analyze their social media. Okay, again, you're gonna write all of these things down. How much are they posting? Look at their feed and look at their stories. Okay, so how much are they posting? Are they even doing stories? And if so, what kind? Are they doing talking head, meaning they're actually talking to camera like this? Or is it more of a just reshared the post? What are they doing? And what kind of engagement are they getting? There was a release as of, in April of 2024, depending on when you're watching this, it's always been true, but it's more of interest today because of how relevant it is, which is that Instagram is very much focused on the engagement. They're very much focused on the creator who gets the best engagement is gonna reach more people. The amount of followers that you have, irrelevant. The amount of engagement that you get, very relevant, okay? So those other numbers, kind of a vanity metric. The amount of followers that you have is just a vanity metric. What kind of content are they posting? Is it mostly video, carousel, reels, or video carousels? If you're doing more of that and just watching this video now, just as kind of a side note, do more video carousels. Also be posting reels, doing more videos, posting stories. Single images, not working as much. I would stop doing that as much. I want to review this document and get back to the basics with the owner of the brand because they hold the gold. They are the key to whom we are going to go after. There's 3 stages, and I'm gonna hit on the very first one here of understanding your audience, and you need to do this type of research for your brand. There's a struggling avatar, there's a unique solution, and then there's life after somebody goes through your unique solution. So let me share screen here. I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like. What is your struggling avatar? So we are over here on this defining your struggling avatar. This is for our OSO program. It's specifically built for clothing store owners trying to get to their first $1 million per year. Now, I'm not gonna read all this for you, and I'll tell you how you can get access to this document here in a little bit, but basically we created this off of our totally 90s kid brand that is launching, and depending on when you're watching this, is already launched, and so you'll see some stuff on our channel about that. But basically, we're showing you the behind the scenes of how we build a clothing brand as well, while also running this agency. However, there's some questions down below that get into the specifics, and you need to answer these questions. What you're gonna find out, and here's the hard and fast rule for you, is that you are your avatar. So whether you are a male who loves the Chiefs, like me, and couldn't find a great streetwear brand, have not found you yet, maybe I need to start one, you could go into this. You'll find out that there's other people who are Chiefs fans, and what is it? What are their core values? What are their identities? What are their experience or knowing? Okay, so experience maybe within football. Okay, they're knowing maybe about the Chiefs. Perfect. Past struggles. Well, the past struggles maybe that they're frustrated on game day that they don't have something cool to wear at a great price. That could be a struggle. I always tell people that's surface level, go into the bigger struggles, right? Which is like, maybe they don't have a ton of money, so they're struggling to make ends meet, and they still want to look great. They still want to be able to watch games with their friends, whatever it may be. Get into the past struggles. But all of these things add up to you are your customer. So when you think about yourself and you ask these questions for yourself, you'll start to realize that I can just market to myself. For example, if you're a 30-year-old guy who lives in Texas, then you could probably go after a 30-year-old something. I always tell people it's about 10 years on the front and 10 years on the back, meaning like 20 to 40 is kind of the range of people that you can go after if you don't insert other people who look different than you. So if you are your customer, use yourself as the model within the product that you are selling, the clothes that you are selling. Same thing for a women's boutique. Guess what? You guys probably already know this if you've sold anything at all. If you're a women's boutique and you go live or you show any types of videos, the things that sell are the things that you're wearing. They're like, oh, that's cute. I'm also a 35-year-old female, or I'm also a 55-year-old female who lives in the South or whatever. And you sell to other people just like you. And so this is the easiest demographic to go after. A lot of people do it by accident, so let's do it with some actual purpose here. So the steps you'll go through is list out your struggles and emotions before your transformation. You can have multiple here, and so in this example, I gave burnout, depressed, nostalgic, excited, lost, working hard. Like all of these things are struggles that somebody went through, because we're talking about this struggling avatar, and then we will offer a unique solution, which will be your clothes. Again, whether you're a cheap streetwear brand or whether you're a clothing boutique, does not matter. You're offering a solution to somebody. To go to the boutique side, you may realize that you're a 30-year-old woman who has not found something that is less risque, that has a great price point, that isn't made overseas, that isn't made in a manufacturing plant that you don't feel comfortable with. Maybe you're going after something that's more eco-friendly or fair trade or made in the States or made local or wherever you may live, and you don't have a good price point. Maybe that's the problem and you have not seen it, so you decided to come out with a product line that specifically surrounds that. You are figuring out that unique solution, and then what's life like afterwards? Somebody who can feel proud of their clothes, somebody who has more confidence, who has a better outlook because they feel comfortable and confident with what they're wearing, because it's solving that problem. Looking for something to look good, not cost $1 million, and also still care about the things that I care about personally. And the next thing you need to go to is what label or identity did/do the older version of you have, or what do they feel they are/do. It's likely to be a noun. So for this, it's like, for me, it's the 90s kid. This could be a teacher or a mom or an athlete, a wonder. It doesn't matter. This could be the 90s kid, okay? Or like 90s nostalgia, whatever it may be, right? So you can write this out for yourself. Again, the point here to go and just kind of give some context is that this is hard work, because it looks like hard work, and it is hard work, and it is truly difficult. And it's not that you cannot do it, but this is the difference with whether or not you will actually make your Facebook ads work. And I just want to stop you here and say, look, you can. And there's a demographic. There's actually a Venn diagram that somebody created inside of our program. It's like in the middle, it's like your audience. And then like one side of it is like knowing your audience. And then the other part of it is like your clothes look cool. And then like the middle is like your audience who buys. And there are a percentage of you guys who are like,
I'm just going to do a video. I'm just going to post my photography. I have some, placed stuff, or I have some flat lays, and I'll do some pictures, and it will sell something.
You will, 100%. But we're not talking about just selling a couple of products. We're talking about selling hundreds, if not thousands, and building 6, 7, 8-figure brands, something that's much more sustainable, that has consistent results. To get consistent results, you need to know who you're marketing to, not just trying to come up with the latest design, because what happens if that design drops, or the collection doesn't work, or the capsule never launches? All of those things play a factor here. But if you know your audience, you can create super fans, because people are like, I know I resonate with that brand. Last thing you want to do here is combine steps 2 and 3 into one phrase or identity and name these people. For example, this is the nostalgic 90s kid. That's who we're going after for our Totally 90s Kid brand. We're going after the nostalgic 90s kid. Person who loved growing up in the 90s and early 2000s. They were born in the 90s, grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. And they want a little piece of that back. They want to go back to their Nokia 92 whatever and play Snake. They want to, ride their bike around. I don't know if they really want to or not, but if you remember like riding a bike, back then they had like the pedals were metal, not this plastic junk now. So it was metal and you skipped your foot on it and just smashed it into your shin. We want to go back to that. Probably not that specific moment, but like riding the bikes, probably a nostalgic feeling to go back to. And so when you can hit on that person right here, and if you're a 90s kid or grew up in the 2000s, or you remember riding a bike like that, maybe even 80s at this point, you probably remember what that was like. And that's the type of messaging that you need to get to in with this. Now, I want to make this super easy for you guys because there is a lot of words here and I think that you should go through it. And like I said, it's the struggling avatar, your unique solution, so your product, your clothing line, and then lifelike afterwards. You truly have to solve a problem. Selling things in the world do not happen until there's a problem to solve. Now, if you want this Google document, it's absolutely free. All you need to do is comment the word avatar down below. I'll send it to you. There's no strings attached, no nothing. I want to see you guys create amazing brands. I just want to say, hold up 1 second, that if you are a clothing brand owner and want to jump into the specifics of your brand and how to grow up profitably online, you can schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us. All you need to do, and there are limited spots, just grab a link in the description down below. Good artists create and great artists steal. Now, I'm not saying you should copy winning ads exactly, but there is also a way to do this ethically and have your ads work for your brand. And I want to work harder and smarter, but also I don't want to work so much harder that I go around it the wrong way and work harder for no reason, right? I want to use AI, I want to use tools, I want to use things that have already worked. So inside of every good ad, there is another step-by-step formula that the best are following to create content that works for their ads and their audience. If you don't know, we're not going to be using interest targeting or lookalike audiences. Those are outdated strategies, and yes, you can get a few sales, but the results fizzle away and you spend half of your week inside of Ads Manager, frustrated, and then you end up reaching out to people like us, telling us that ads don't work, and then I have to tell you, it's not your ads, it's actually the creative, but there's a better way. But first, let me walk you through your content creation process and the 3 I's that you should be using in your brand. So when you're creating content to use for ads, you should follow these 3 I's. So number 1 is to imitate. Go out and find the best ads that are working. I'm going to show you how to do this. The next thing you want to do is iterate variations of that. So if you do a video that has a very big call to action at the beginning or a hook that says,
"Hey, what are you guys doing? What's going on?"
that could be one thing that you imitate, but then you could be iterating a version of that and say,
"Hey, y'all.
or
Did you know this?"
ask a question, so you could do different hooks and you can come up with your own iterations of them. And the last thing, the 3rd I, is the innovate, coming up with something completely new. There's a lot of trends, a lot of memes, where people are doing different stuff, and you could completely come up with your own variation of something, or you could come up with something off the spot out of your own head from finding things that already work, so you could be innovating them. Do innovation last. So many people start with innovating first. I've done that. Don't do it. It's a headache. It rarely ever works. There's already proven processes. That's why you're watching this video. I'm trying to give you the easy button. I wish I had an easy button. That was easy. I would push that. It's a much better route to go. The best way to do this is to walk through winning ads, and let me show you again like what I'm talking about in our Foreplay account and walk you through this process. So I'm going to go over here to Foreplay. If you don't know what Foreplay is, it is a game changer. Basically, you can save every ad on the internet, and they do it through like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. They're working on a couple of other things, but we want to go and filter these by the status that they are still running, okay? And I want to sort by the longest running. So this one right here, this is from Hazel and Olive. They have this one right here running, and it's been running for 7 months. It's been a lot of money. So this is their best sellers. Let's watch it. Let's see if we can play the song or not. I don't know if it's copyrighted. Couple of things here. Same day free shipping. Good offer. Okay, it's showcasing outfits. Perfect. Let's look inside of here. Where's it taking them to? Because there's no way, as a clothing boutique, they still have this in stock. So where does it send them to? Collections and restocked. This is their best sellers. So interesting that they went that route. I think this is like upcoming event, date night, or best sellers. Okay, so it's their best sellers no matter what. So they're just saying you got a date night, perfect event, which I'm gonna hit on here in a second of the layout for this. But yeah, really good shots, got some music, 18 seconds, cool. It's been running actually for 642 days. I think we got a winner here, guys. Check that out. So you can click inside of there. We got this other one from Hazel and Olive. Now Hazel and Olive may be killing some stuff here. Can't play this song. Let's just say it's playing some Morgan Wallen right now. All right, so Morgan Wallen's killing it. If you guys don't like him, sorry. Also, so excited, May 10th. It's coming out in a couple of days, or just depending on when you're watching, it's already out. But Morgan Wallen Posty, so excited for that. But anyway, so this is same day free shipping. That's awesome. That's an advantage some of you guys may not have, but use your own offer. Looking for a new concert outfit. Let's see where they go. Please send me to a concert. Concert outfits, let's go. So you got one that you can pre-buy, and then you got all these outfits for concerts. And like I said, I'm gonna walk you through the tier system that you guys should have in place, no matter if you're a boutique or a streetwear brand or just starting out, doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, there is quite a few that I have on here that have been running for a while that we've been going through. But before we get onto this next, I wanna say, howdy, my name's Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding, and we've generated close to actually over $120 million in revenue for clothing brand owners like you. And we've served hundreds of brands from over 70 different countries around the world. And if you're a clothing brand owner, I would appreciate it. I think it'll be a very big benefit for you. We put out new content every single week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like this video. All right, so back to your regularly scheduled video. Okay, so on screen, I'm gonna put this here, and this will probably be done in post, and I wish that I could be doing it here. Okay, so really quick formula, and then we'll get back to the video. So Facebook or Facebook ads, however we want to describe it here. So this is going to be Facebook ads equals, let's just do it this way, CAC divided by LTV, okay, minus COGS. And we'll get into this. So cost of goods, cost to acquire a customer, lifetime value of the customer. We'll get into all of this here in a second. So, all right, so just a quick understanding here. So fixed costs also have to be played into this factor as well. So fixed costs are like labor, your overhead, taxes, etc., which I guess taxes are kind of variable, but like your actual fixed costs for your business, make sure that you write those out. Now that you understand that formula, which like I said, I want to walk through that a little bit more in depth. So cost of goods, right? That's the product the amount of money that it takes for you to produce the product. It's usually your manufacturing costs, whatever. I want you to be between 60 to 70, 80+% margins. If you're print on demand, I understand it's going to be a little bit lower, but just kind of go in there. CAC, if you are just starting out, you may not know where you need to be. Clothing brand for just only do organic could be anywhere of a CAC from $10 to 50. If you do paid ads, it could be much higher than that. It could be 20, 30, 40, 50, etc. But you need to understand what the CAC number is. What's the cost to acquire that customer? Many people are like,
oh, organic, that doesn't cost any money.
Yes, it does. Whether you do influencers, ambassadors, you create the content yourself, that is a cost you've got to factor in, okay? So what's the cost? And then divided by LTV. This is what most people are saying is like the standard, which 100% I agree. But lifetime value, I look at it as a 30, 60, 90-day period, meaning what is that customer worth? Do they only buy one time? Because if so, you do not have a business. In my opinion, clothing brand must get 3 purchases before you start to really build something. Because if a customer comes back and they buy $100 worth of product from you the first time, and the second time they buy $100, and the third time they buy $100, we're looking at a cost to acquire the customer maybe $50 or $75, but you make $300. That's way different than $75 to acquire the customer and they spend $100. Okay, you're not profitable on that first one, I promise you. So lifetime value, big number here. You may not have that number yet. And to give context here, like this is something that's actually very easily done inside a triple whale. 1.17, that's only I guess for the today. I mean, obviously you could do like a 30-day period or whatever it would be. But anyway, it gives it to you, LTV divided by CPA, cost per acquisition. A lot of people use CAC. A lot of people use CPA, same thing. Now that you understand the formula and you know the type of ads to test, we need to think about one last approach for setting up your ads so that they can run for a long period of time And that is exactly what we hit on a little bit earlier when I was showing you some winning ads that I'm going to talk about here in a second. So I have a document, and the document breaks down how to drop a collection, but it's also useful for anything that you use to run actual ads. There's 3 tiers that you should be thinking about on when you should run ads. The first one should be based off of fabric. So is it denim, or is it a graphic tee or a graphic sweatshirt? Whatever it is, the fabric should be the tier so they can run for a long period of time. Again, denim pants, denim shorts, I could run for 3, 6, 9 months out of the year, which means I can run my ads longer as long as I can get more stock. The second tier are events or seasons, so summer, fall, winter, etc., or events like weddings. And then the third tier, where everybody starts, are holiday/promotion. Like, oh, I got a Valentine's Day promotion, I got a weekend sale, I got Christmas, I got all of these things. Those holiday sales, those are not going to be able to run very long. And it's very difficult unless you've already got good data to make them work. So I would suggest to not do holiday or promotion sales until you've already done something in the fabric section that you've got running as a winning ad. Otherwise, it's going to be an uphill battle. One other thing I want you to do as well is to not go super wide, but go deep. I'd rather you have 9 products or 10 products and buy really deep than to have 50 or 100 and they're all sold out. It is a skill. Don't get me wrong. It is absolutely a skill, but you need to buy deep. Now, let me show you kind of like what this looks like inside of Ads Manager here, because I think this is to give some social proof if you guys are back here, and just give you a quick overview of what this looks like set up. Okay, so this is just so far 6 days into May 6th, my birthday, shout out, what's up? But basically there's been 300 purchases here. Inside of Facebook, these are bloated numbers for sure. Triple Well is the only actual attribution that works here. So let me pull this up for you real quickly. So we are at a 5.85, 325 purchases, pretty accurate here. 304, Facebook said that we are at a 5.6, and we're actually a little bit better at a 5.8. So actually better numbers. Woo, go us. The main setup here is we got one campaign. It's a CBO campaign, or campaign budget optimization, meaning the budget is distributed between both ad sets. Okay, so the total budget per day, I believe, is a little over 1,000. Let's see here, 1,200. Okay, so this month we're at $1,200 a day in spend. It's distributing it between the 2 of those. You can see that one of them is doing slightly better than the other. Not too much is going on there. One thing you'll notice as well is that this has been running for a long period of time. These are boutiques, and just like I said, August and September that these have been running. Now we do change out content, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But this is set up as a DCT. Big thing for you on the DCT side, make sure you turn this button on. This is the dynamic creative side of things. And then the age, gender, location is the only thing that we're doing. It's broad, meaning we are only going after women 23 to 64. There's nothing else on here. If we really wanted to, we could exclude past purchasers, but it's not really something that we're testing here. The actual ads, you're wondering, oh, what do they look like? They're very simple, front back images, and then entry level, top of the funnel type of text. Okay, so now you know how to understand the formula and what's needed to make an ad successful. The next thing you need to do is I have a video exactly how to run an ad and build it from scratch, step by step, with Facebook ads for your clothing brand. Go watch this video right here next. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. And P.S., please make sure you subscribe.